everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and I wanted to take just a couple of minutes today. I got Happy Mail, and I wanted to say thank you to Jilly C. She sent me this. I have no idea what's in it, but we will see what's in it. She kind of let me know that something was coming for Halloween, and so I'm very excited. So we'll be opening this. I love Happy Mail. So exciting. And we are also going to be talking about something a little different. And pardon the way I look. I had a very long swim lesson today. And then I had an hour and a half massage. And then we went to pizza. So we just got done with Pizza Limon, and I am stuffed to the gills, massaged to an inch of my life, and exhausted. So, I mean, it was a long lesson today, but I had great strides, and today I actually saw a video of me, and I look like a swimmer. Yeah. It was pretty impressive. And I went back and I looked at my first swim that my brother did. Because my brother is my coach. He trains triathlete swimmers. And there was a huge difference. And if I can figure out a way to upload it, I will. Here, the comparison video. If not, it's going to be a separate video in my triathlon training Rebel Athena list. But anyway, it was the first time that I felt like a swimmer, and because I actually looked like a swimmer. And for some reason, I don't know, I had it in my head that I looked a lot different and that I looked like an idiot. But when I saw myself, I'm like, whoa, that looks like a normal human being swimming. And my brother's like, what did you think you were going to look? And I'm like, I honestly thought that I was going to look like this big giant whale on top of the water and just be like, oh. He goes, no. So I'm also to a point now where I am swimming how I'm going to be swimming. And I still swim stroke, 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 roll over on my back to take my breath, because as an asthmatic swimmer, I'm just kind of going to have to do what I have to do. And I'm not trained to the point where I can just go like lift out, take a breath, and go back in. So the thought of that still puts a great amount of panic in me. So one step at a time. But today I also found out that I could swim no matter what I want to do. I can do that in the pool during the triathlon. For some reason, I thought you had to swim a certain stroke and you had to be a certain speed and you had to do, a certain way in order to do a triathlon. No. My brother said, you can do whatever you want to do. Because if you want to dog paddle the entire time, dog paddle the entire time. He said, I've had guys that have done like a reverse triathlon. And he said, they're in a pool and they've literally just ran the pool. And he goes, because it was in shallow water. And they're like, it's 4 feet. I'm just going to run it. And finish it faster than they actually would have swam it. The Morro Bay triathlon that I'm doing a year from now, which is in open ocean water. Ocean. I know I can do it. But it's exactly a year from now. I was looking it up the other day. You can actually paddleboard the water portion of the triathlon. You don't even have to get in the water. I'm like, how is that like a thing? So, learn something new every day, which is why I have the Rebel Athena podcast, because I'm like, I had no clue. No clue. And then a friend of the guy that I've been training with, Matt Foreman, Vidar, who is an Ironman, 4-time Ironman, he tweaked his knee, has done something to his knee. And he's like, yes, I'm just going to walk it. I'm like, what? What? He goes, yeah. Whether I run it or walk it, it's still an Ironman. And I'm like, you can walk an Ironman. Who knew? He goes, you're going to have a shit time, but one way or another, you finish. So, a little bit of stress, relieved. So for those of you who are like, there's no way I could run a triathlon in like blah, 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 some amount of time or whatever, doesn't matter. Now, if they have a cutoff time, then it might matter. And I know that there are some like marathons and half marathons that they like pack up and go home. But like I've met a marathoner and she's done 26 marathons, and that's 26.2 miles. And she's walked them. Walked every single one of them. And she talks about it taking like 9 hours. And I'm like, wow. I mean, my mind is blown that you can do that. But, I mean, obviously I'm not going to like walk swim unless I panic. And then I'll do whatever the hell I have to do. But I'm not quitting, and unless, you know, something happens that I can't finish. But please, whatever triathlon spirits there are, do not let that happen. But, I mean, a ripped IT band didn't stop me. So, from running my first half. So, I'm a lot less stressed, but not to the point where I'm like, I got this. No. But I feel much better knowing that it's less than 30 days away. And how I swam today, I can swim the entire 350 meters and be fine. Now, it may take me forever, but since it is a reverse swim, my brother did point out, he goes, well, you know, he goes, not to be an ass, but all the fast people are already going to be gone. And I'm like, that's true. Sweet. There's only going to be shitty swimmers like me. So awesome. And he's like, you just keep thinking that as a bonus. And I'm like, it is. I'm like, at least I'm not going to die. You know, I got over the hump of thinking I was going to die. So now I'm like, I can finish. I can actually swim this sucker and do it. And like roll and take my breath and do whatever I needed to do. Now, granted, there may be people slower than me. But triathlons, the Athenas talk about DFL. And I'm like, what the hell is DFL? And I see it in all the Athena, in the some of the triathlete stuff that in the groups that I'm in. And I'm like, can somebody please tell me what DFL is? And everybody's like, dead fucking last. And I'm like, that's a thing? They're like, hell yeah, that's a thing. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right. There's a thing for if I am dead fucking last. Okay. And I will not be the only person ever to DFL it. So, you know, there have been people bigger than me. I've seen plenty of pictures of them in Rock On Sisters that they have finished. And so I'm not going to die. I'm going to swim it. And I might not even be DFL. And if I am, so what? This is my first one. This is the baseline. So my old brother's like, so you know, if you take extra time, that's just more time you're going to shave off the next one. And I'm like, I like the way you think. So, not that I'm going to intentionally add time. My panic and my like, what the can't get my shoes on kind of thing. That's going to happen. I know. And I've been watching all of these people talking about their transitions, which I didn't know what that was either. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Transitions. And they're like, when you're like, get to your station and you have to change your clothes, your shoes or whatever out of the wetsuit. And I'm like, oh, there's not like a nice little changing room to do that? Nope. You do it right there on the cement, right next to your bike. And I'm like, oh. And then Janae, Janae, she's the one that actually got me to do this. She's like, yeah. And so she goes, I practice and I lay out everything the way I want it, like how the order I want it all done. And then, I time myself getting out of what I'm in, coming out of the pool or the water and then changing and all this. And I'm like, wow. Like they literally practice this over and over and over and over and over again to get the most optimal way of putting on their shoes and their socks and everything. And they're like, that's how you can shave minutes off of your time. And I'm like, I don't really. I'm sure eventually, I will be like, okay, we're shaving minutes off. Now I'm just like, we're just gonna finish. But for those of you, I'll get off this tangent here in a minute. But for those of you who have not heard, this will be my first triathlon, November 3rd, less than 30 days. Then, in 2019, I will be doing 2 sprints and 2 Olympic triathlons at some point in the year. I have no idea. So if any of you are going to do a triathlon next year, anywhere in the United States, let me know. Because I don't necessarily have to do them here. In fact, I don't think I can do them here because I don't think we have 4 that I can do. So I want to do 2 sprints and 2 Olympics. Or I want to do at least 1 Olympic. So, which is like a half marathon. Or no. Dear God, no. That's a 10K. So a sprint's a 5K. And a Olympic is you run a 10K. And then the bike and the swim go up in increments along with that. So I want to do at least 1 Olympic next year. Hopefully 2. I want to do a total of 4 triathlons next year. Unless for some crazy reason, or not crazy reason, like I'm going to die, that I decide that I hate the whole thing and November 3rd will be my only one. But I don't think it will be. Kind of like it. A little bit. Now, if those 4 go okay, in 2020, I'm going to do a half Ironman. Maybe. Probably. Hopefully. So, 2018, 1 triathlon. 2019, 4 triathlons. 2020, my first half marathon. No, my first half Ironman. Like, dun dun dun! You say the wrong thing. So, that's my plan. That's the only goal I have set for 2019 so far, other than my cleaning, which, yeah. You'll read all about that in the article that I've given Carrie Harling, if she publishes it, which I hope she does, talking about setting 2019 goals and how horribly awful I failed my 2018, one of my goals, one of my big goals. One of my big 5. Made 2. Came close to 1. 2 of them, 1 completely, utterly failed horribly. And that's okay. Because I'm going to do it again. But there's a reason behind it. So, anyway. So what we're... I know. Tangent, Amy, synonymous. So what we're going to do... How I got in this whole tangent, I don't know. But remember me talking to y'all about making my own like Halloween themed dividers? I did it. Not my pocket. And some of you may find this blasphemous, and I'm very sorry. But I tried it in a smaller one, and it did not work. Which, who knew? It's my Dr. Jones. My Dr. Jones, my Indy. And if you notice, Nightmare on Christmas? Nightmare Before Christmas. It's not one of my ultimate favorite movies. I will tell you that. But it is Halloween-ish. Christmas-ish. Both-ish. But the reason I did this, see, there's Jack and the girl, I don't know her name, and the dog and a demon, my death wish, and either Hunin or Munin, one or the other. But these all came out of a notebook that it had all these dividers with these little guys hanging out. I cut them down. And I cut some of the paper down. And I'll show you what I did. Now, that is not the blasphemous part. Although I'm sure some of you will think, oh my God, how can you not adore Nightmare Before Christmas? I've watched it twice. But it was Halloween-y. And I wanted to try this. And I realized that it was too small for my pocket, which is why I went ahead and did the Cocoa Daisy, along with the fact that it's orange and I love it. But the blasphemy is this. Rings in my Dr. Jones Chic Sparrow Traveler's Notebook. Bum, bum, bum. And those suckers are not going anywhere. Not at all. So I watched Carrie Harling's video on how to put those in. Because it's just a set of rings. It was the personal size rings that were in the clear notebook that I got. That was from PlannerCon. That I got for free. Ripped that sucker right off. And pulled the rivets out. Very important. Almost killed myself doing that. But we'll talk about that in a minute. And then put them into this. Now, that was a personal that I ripped those rings out of. I tried putting it in my personal Maverick. Did not work. Shit stuck out. Like, oh. So now I can see why people use a personal wide sometimes, because they're putting rings in that makes it stick out further. So this is actually personal rings with personal inserts, ringed inserts in a B6 Slim. And they're right to the edge pretty much. You guys can kind of see that. So I actually think a B6 would probably be better. But I love my Dr. Jones. And I'm freaking absolutely loving the slim profile of this. But it's so nice and light. I took my B6 Jibun Techo out just because I'm going to be getting a new Jibun Techo, and it's going to be in an A5 with my cousin Avec in the Foxy Fix Wildflower Cedar notebook cover. But this is awesome. And what I've put in here are my bills inserts. Now, all of you know that I have a big red standard notebook from Standard Deluxe in Prometheus from Chic Sparrow. And any of the inserts that I found just did not work for me. And I've really tried. And so what I've done is taken a couple of different inserts and used it in the rings. Because the one thing that I really like about the rings is I can put stuff in any order I want. And so I have struggled with keeping track of all the bills. Since I actually started in a plain bound notebook and I would just write it out. And ever since that I quit doing that, it has been a struggle to make sure I get everything done on time and in the right order and all of that. it's just been hard keeping track. So I'm trying this for the last 3 months of the year. And if this works, then I'm just going to keep doing it. And I may actually end up putting it back into like my Filofax Finziberry, or doing something else. But I gotta say, I loved putting this in, and that way I can still use all of my Chic Sparrows. And just when I feel the urge to do rings, there was Tear jumping up on my desk, naughty little boy, breaking and entering into my studio and doing this. Anyway, I'm gonna get the door fixed. But I really like that. And so if this works, I have a couple of A5 notebooks that I might actually try to disassemble. No disassemble! Jenny 5, no disassemble! Sorry. My geekness takes over sometimes. Anyway, so I might try that with an A5. I don't know. Don't know. But we're going to see. But for the next 3 months, October, November, December, I'm going to use this as my bill thing. Bill notebook. Just because it's so thin and I can just drop it in and be done with it. So let's go ahead and flip this bad boy around, and I will take you through my Happy Mail and show you how I did the dividers in this and show you what I put in here for bill tracking. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay. Now, I have undone this, but I have not opened it yet. So we will put this in there. Okay. Oh, that is way cute. I love that. That is very, very cool. Okay, hi Amy. I'm a big fan of your videos and have so much in common with you and your planning sensibilities. As I was creating leather earrings, okay, that's awesome, and sitting at my new Etsy shop, woohoo, I couldn't help but think that you might enjoy these. I hope you do. Please visit me at www.horseshoelakestudios.etsy.com. There's more coming in the shop. Keep a lookout for my pottery designs. Okay, awesome. Okay, I love that. That is freaking awesome. No life before coffee. That is very true. And I love that. Oh! Okay, this whole collage piece is amazing and definitely going into my journal. And, ooh, okay. Done very cutely, by the way. I don't want to rip this. Oh, I've just kind of seen a little bit of what's in there. Ooh, I am very excited about this. Very excited, says the pirate in me. Sorry guys, I'm trying to be gentle with this because I want to keep part of this. Or I want to keep all of it. Ah, okay. Oh, very cute. Little fall washi tape. I'm getting a hint of what's in there. Little Miss Jill. And love this bag. Okay, those are freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. And it's on orange, which is, I love that. Okay. Those are freaking amazing. I love that. And it's leather. That is way cool. All right, definitely wearing these on my next video. Ah, these are very cool. I love skulls. And I love that this, oh my gosh, this leather is amazing. It's a reddish orange. And I'm like, maybe it's just because it's, no, it definitely looks reddish orange. And I love that. These are very cool, Jill. So freaking cool, and definitely right up my alley. I especially love wearing stuff like this when I'm dressed for work and there's like a little bit of like rebel, just little hints. And I love this because this will definitely be that little hint of rebellion. Rage against the man. Oh, so thank you very much. And again, I'll link her shop down below, but it is www.horseshoelakestudio.etsy.com. So there you go. And definitely give her shop a shout out because these are amazing and the leather is so soft. I'm just like, oh, I love that. So thank you very much. Jill did gift these to me. She did not ask for a review or anything like that, but I am happy to open Happy Mail like this at any time because who doesn't love jewelry? Hello, and it's skulls. So, little Jolly Roger action going on. So, yeah, this is all going in my journal. So, I'm loving this. Thank you very much, Jill. They are gorgeous. And I am now trying to, in my head, contemplate what outfit I can wear tomorrow to wear these. So, give you guys one last look. And again, I will link her shop down below. But many of you have seen her comment on my previous videos, Jilly C. So, awesome. Yay! And it came wrapped so adorably. Oh. Okay, now on to my Dr. Jones. And for those of you who are not ardent Chic Sparrow fans, this is the only Chic Sparrow, other than the wallet Chic Sparrow, that has a pocket on the outside. This was done for charity. It was a design, and they called it Dr. Jones, and it was supposed to be a take on Chic Sparrow's take on Indiana Jones's notebook. So what I did is, this is a Raven die cut that I got at Michael's, and it's they just had a bunch of different die cuts, and I got some that are adorable. And I just taped one of my Death Wish stickers there, because again, hello, skull and crossbones. We like that kind of thing. And then I just stick it in there, and so you can see kind of both of them. And I'm a huge Raven fan, Hugin and Munin, which are Odin's ravens, messengers, and eyes. And so with the Dr. Jones, there's no pockets on the inside. It is a classic, and this is one of two classics that I own, and I love it because it has this pocket on the outside. So this is part of a notebook that I bought. It was actually very inexpensive because, I'll show you. I want to show you guys kind of where this came from. This was actually the cover, or the back of this was that was the back cover. So you can kind of see where I cut that out. And all the different pieces. These are all they're not acetate. They're plastic, like you would have dividers in a regular spiral notebook. And so I just cut them out. And this is what these are what they actually look like beforehand, before I cut them out. And I just cut them with my scissors. There's a couple of them I used my cutter, my Fisker cutter, and it worked just fine too. But these two guys, didn't make the cut. Literally. I know, so punny. But it's because they were too far out on the edge. So I just thought I'd save these for something else if I wanted to do a different one next year. And then I have this, which is the cover of the notebook. And as you can tell, it was a spiral that I just bent the spiral out. So this notebook was like $2 because it had several sheets that were bent, and some of them had like dirt on them, but only like a handful of the pages were like that. The rest of the pages are just fine. And they have the little dog on the outside. See how he's kind of bent? And, but most of the, I mean, 90%, like here, you can see it was a little bit dirty at the top. And so it was $2. And I'm like, huh, I wonder if I can make those little top things into dividers. Obviously you can. So I cut the back out and made it actually the front because I thought that was awesome. And like I said, I tried to do this for my pocket and it was just like, none of these really worked because it was just, you couldn't get a good design and because it was too small. But for the personal, it works great. And you can kind of see how the back of this was kind of beat up a little bit. So there's some marks and stuff that are some scratches, but I think it looks very Halloweenish that way. So, and then I cut down some of the paper so that I had just blank paper. And it's just, you know, note paper that I can use, but it's very cute and functional. So then this is Jack Skellington. And this one, so when you are using your hole punch and you have used it for a pocket most of the time, one should always make sure, besides moving the little thing at the bottom, the little extender, move your holes as well. Because I punched this one and I'm like, I don't understand why this is not working. I mean, literally I was ready to throw it through the wall. And then I punched this one and it was like, oh, that's what's doing it. Because this one, because Jack was so close to the front of the edge, I had to leave the original holes in, so I couldn't just cut those off. So that's why there's a multitude of holes. But I mean, a hole's just fine, and it doesn't bother me. And so hers, I mispunched, but I cut off most of the other ones. But then, yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. That's why that one didn't work. So I fixed it, and all the other ones are fixed. But so this is the dog, and he's got like the little characters in here. You can see that. And then one last one. I picked this one because he's orange. And aren't you scared? Every day is Halloween. And Eureka, it's time to party, and all the different characters, Halloween 13th, Friday the 13th. And so I just kept those out so that these were on top. So I just thought it turned out really cute. This is one of the back pieces from another binder that I had that I just went ahead and put the Cocoa Daisy pin holder on so that I could have a pin here because, again, Dr. Jones doesn't come with that. So I may end up actually laminating the raven, but we'll see. So what I'm putting in here, this came from this. I got this at Michael's, and I liked what it was in it, but it was in a weird order. So in the back here, this was the first page, and then it has current budget and savings, and then it had, come on, Amy, and then it had this piece, so I had a final balance, and then towards the back, it had your spending tracker, and then you had more things about goals, which is here. So, but that was all just in a weird order, and I didn't like it. So what I did is I just pulled this out, because when I was looking at this at Michael's, one of them, a couple of the pages were actually out. I thought, oh, it's going to be easy. Yeah, I should have just bought that one, because this was kind of a pain in the butt to rip out. But once I got it, it was fine, but it took a little bit longer than just cracking the spine and just being like, oh, these come out so nice and easy. I'm like, why it's like this and hole punched? I'm like, that just seems like it would be like, oh, you can't open it. But so what I've done is I actually got 3 different personal, I went into their clearance section, and they had 3 different Recollections personal punched kits that had the whole dividers and all of that. And one had an elephant on the front. It's kind of mandala-ish. And I guess it's out of season. So, but I'm like, they're all undated. So I picked them up. I got one for $3.97, one for $2.97. And then I got one that was black. It's all black pages, and it's more budget and goals and that kind of thing. And I got it for $1.97. So I'm like, sweet. And so with the rings, what I love about that is that I can just pick and choose what pages I want each month and put them in. So this is what I've done. So I've taken a goals page, and I'll put all my goals for October. I thought I wrote October, and I guess I didn't. But like here I've done November. We'll do November. So November 2018, and then I'm going to write my goals in here and the different ideas that I have for budgeting and saving money and all of that. And there's the second page if I want to keep it. And then this, 10 ways to save today. I'm actually just going to use 10 to-do lists based on my budget, because that makes no sense to me. I'm like, really? So it's going to be 10 ways to, or 10 to-dos regarding my budget. So I'll do that. And then there is budget information. I can put other ideas there, notes and thoughts. And then you have a month at a glance, and you just fill in the numbers. Now, my pet peeve is they have these whole week things starting on Monday, but then the calendar started on Sunday. And I'm like, seriously, get with the program. Monday starts. I have learned to love them and get so annoyed when there's not a Monday start. So I just cover them up. Like, fine, I'll make it Monday start one way or another. So I have the month at a glance, which I'll put in our paydays, any of the bills due. And then I'll go in and I will add each bill. And if I'm working on to-dos or anything like that for the month for my savings, or if I'm doing my side hustle, all that kind of thing, I'll put it in here. And then I've got all the weeks of the month in there. And then it just starts over. Then this little guy, I've got October, November, December. And again, like I said, it'll be the monthly budget savings. And then these are to-dos. And these are the spending trackers. And I've got a little half flap there to put that in. And I'm going to go back in tonight and backfill this for the first week of October. And so I'll have a complete month. And then putting the savings in here. And then this is for November. And I've got that again. And this starts December. So that's all that I have in here. I just want to see if I can at least get this done. And like I said, it's got a thin profile to it, so it's not going to add a lot of weight to my bag. So I can literally throw this in every day if I wanted to. But my goal is to be in this book 3 to 4 times a week. So whether it's here, at home, or at work, it doesn't matter. What matters is I actually freaking use it. Because with the bigger book, I just wasn't getting into it. And so it was just a block, because it's just giant. And I'm like, oh. But if it's something very simple and easy, and that I can switch around and make it the way I want it to be, I'm hoping that I will get into it more often. And I'm not so overwhelmed that there's like 50 bazillion things in there that I got to write down and track and blah, 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 blah. No. I want it easy. I want to get back to simple. And this is about as simple as I can get it, with still using sheets that I want to use. So we're going to give this a try and see how it goes. So hopefully it works. And sorry for those of you who want to kill me for putting rings in Chic Sparrow. But it's awesome. And it's the perfect world for me, because I'm like, I can have my rings, have my Chic Sparrow, and be able to move things around into what I need. Now, before you start thinking that, oh my God, she's gone crazy, she's gone ring crazy, I have not. I still love my Hobonichis, and those are my live or die planners for 2019. However, I also am getting a folio for my field notes because I have a specific project that I want to use with my field notes notebooks and tracking my exercise and running. So, and I didn't want to put that in my rings for various reasons, because it's stuff that I actually want to keep track of and keep. And my field notes notebooks are what things that I want to keep. So I've gone through today figuring out that. So when I get the folio in the next couple of days, then we will have that. And there might be a couple of other things coming. We'll see. But anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. Ooh, and the one upside, I have all of these bits and pieces that I can cut off and make, you know, different markers and stuff like that. And then these are the pieces, the extra pieces that I cut off of those sheets. This is just going to live in my Hobonichi as a list, like a grocery list or something. And then this is going in my pocket rings, and I'm going to use it kind of like the same way. So I'm like, they're the perfect size for just a throwaway list. I don't want to worry about punching holes or anything like that. And they're too long to fit in here, but they're exactly the height of my Hobonichi. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll just keep a couple in there and then keep these extras on my desk. Well, this is actually going into my pocket notebook. And these are the Cocoa Daisy clips from the August when they had the sea creatures, which I love. I think they're cute. So not trying to be wasteful and making sure that I use everything. And I'm like, this is like a to die for list. And I'm like, I love it. So there you have it, my updated bill tracker. And let's see if this works a little bit better for me. And I will list down below if I can find any of this that I've used. And I'll list what I got at Michael's if I can find it online. But yeah, there you have it. And for those of you who are wondering if you can put rings in a B6 Slim, yes you can. You put the personal rings in B6 Slim. I'm hoping if an A5 goes into either a standard or a A5 Traveler's Notebook, we'll see. We'll see. So there you have it. And I will be updating you accordingly to how this is going, or if I just give up on it all together, which, you know, could possibly happen as well. We'll see. But I hope not. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.